Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to clean retro games. Got a bunch of these games, Nintendo 64 cartridges, NES cartridges, and SNES cartridges from GameStop. They do this sale every once in a while where you get like, if you buy 5 or more games, you get, I think it was 50% off. So I always like to clean the games when I get them from like a local store or online or eBay or whatever. So all you need is rubbing alcohol, and you need like the highest content you can find, because if you get like the 50%, no, it's mostly water or half water, so it's not good. You don't want to put water on the metal components and everything. So 91% or above I would recommend. And then Q-tips or a cotton ball, and I've even used like magic erasers, like the Mr. Clean things. So I just pour out some rubbing alcohol, and then, so this is gonna help you clean the pins. I don't know if you can see them, but here, I'll see if I can. These pins are pretty clean. Sometimes they're like really rusty and gross. And for those ones, you might have to use like you might have to open the cartridge up and use like a Scotch-Brite, like a rough pad, or like some kind of metal cleaner, shine or something. And this will also help remove like stains. Usually there's like yellow marks or brown marks, and a lot of times people write their name in Sharpie. And the Sharpie will come off, like, no matter how old, so don't worry about that. There's just not much you can do if this is like scratched or something. So all you do is just take it, dip it in the rubbing alcohol, and rub the pins, rub the sides of the cart. See, look, that's not too bad. Oops, camera's on. So yeah, it actually is quite dirty. But I usually use 1 or 2 Q-tips a side. You can sort of twist them around. But yeah, that's just one side, and it's pretty dirty. So I'm gonna turn around, wipe off the excess, and go for the other side. The thing is that you just don't really know what kind of shape your cards are going to be when you order them online. But even still, coming from like game stores, they can be pretty dirty. Actually, right there, looks like there's some Sharpie or something, so I'll show you. Just see, it's already coming off a little bit. Almost gone there. But yeah, pretty much all you just need to do is just rub in alcohol and some elbow grease. There. I usually get all the little marks best I can. And then sometimes in the grooves, they're pretty dirty. Oh. Alright, sorry, the camera fell. Okay, sometimes in the grooves they're pretty dirty, so I try to get them too. Oh crap. And like just everywhere I try to see dirt. But if there is dirt on the label, you can do it lightly, but if you do it too much, it can actually damage or like decolor. So just be careful. I mean, and then also another thing is a lot of times like labels are scratched and stuff like that, or off or peeling. It's not much you can do about that. Maybe unless you buy like a new one on Etsy or eBay or something. People print their own, but I mean, I'm not like a hardcore collector, so this is more like functional cleaning for me, like just to make sure the pins are all good. So here's the SNES. The same thing, you just rub all in there and then get the pins real good. That one's pretty clean. And then do the other side of the pins. So yeah, just a little bit of like I don't know, tarnish or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, stuff like that, there's not much you can do about the label peeling. But yeah, I mean, I think this game was like 20 bucks or something, so I only got it for 10 bucks because it was half off. So I don't really like GameStop, honestly, but when they have this sale every once in a while, I mean, it's worth it. Because half off, I mean, can't say no to that. Got some pretty good games, but Zelda NES was sold out. I've been wanting that one, the gold cart. And Metroid was half off. But yeah, this technique will work. To just, you know, gotta be patient, because sometimes stuff's more dirty or more sunk in there. Because some of these games are really old. Like some of the NES games are like 30 years old. No, more than that, like almost 40 now, I guess. Which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, and then I'll clean a 64 game for you real quick. So I would just recommend this for all like Nintendo or Sega or whatever kind of like cartridges there are with like pins. But yeah. For stuff like game discs, you're gonna need to go to like a place that can do that for you. It's like usually $4 or $5, and they just like take off a thin layer of like the disc. So that's about it for how to clean some retro game cartridges. Again, all you need is just some rubbing alcohol, games, and Q-tips pretty much. And then that's basically it. See, so here's a 2 just from cleaning these 3 games, and these games are already good and they should work nicely. But yeah, I'll show you guys how it looks like when I'm finished cleaning all these games. And another thing I noticed, which is kind of funny, this Donkey Kong had someone's name engraved in it. Jeff Henry from like 30 years ago. So that's pretty funny. You can't really do anything about that either. So you know, is that a lot of times retro games will turn yellow in certain areas, maybe if they've been exposed to sunlight, or it has something to do with like the chemicals. There's like fire retardant chemicals in the plastic, so that kind of sucks. But if you're really worried about it, a way that you can get rid of it is with something like Salon Care 40. It is it's like a hydrogen peroxide cream or something like that. And so you can get this at like any beauty store. And so what you do is just put some of that on there, like a thin layer on the yellow parts, and then wrap it in saran wrap and set it outside for a couple hours in the direct sunlight, and then the yellowing should go away. So that's just another tip. Okay, so here's an example of like something on the label that you might want to get off. There's someone drew pen on the Mature logo. So also when you're cleaning the pins, make sure you clean until like the Q-tips like doesn't get dirty anymore, because this one I used 1.5 Q-tips on just cleaning the pins. But for the label, you're gonna want to take just a little bit of the rubbing alcohol and then rub the excess off so it's not like sopping the label. and then just lightly rub it on there. It's like not really gonna do much, but if like you really care, like you can just try. See, just a little bit's coming off, but okay. So like I got a little bit of it off, but now the M logo is a little bit faded. So I mean, I really wouldn't recommend rubbing on the label. See, they also colored on the back here, unless it like really bothers you, because it's not gonna do much but fade the label out pretty much. So I would avoid doing it, but I don't know. Okay, so one last thing is there's usually stickers and stuff on old games, so there's like sticky residue, and that easily comes off just rubbing alcohol. All right. So these are pretty gross. All the games are clean. Make sure you always clean your games when you get them. Thanks for watching.